Anthony Williams, the medical medium, right here live, Facebook Live. Told you I was coming back. Pop-up live. SIBO. I'm talking about SIBO being the new CANDIDA, the power about all the information that can really help you change your life. I'm talking about CANDIDA, what's going on, how CANDIDA really wasn't the problem. I'm going to talk about why it wasn't. So it's all about the gut, SIBO. It's all about what's happening, how SIBO's created, what doctors should be telling you, and what they should have been telling everybody all these years that I've been helping people with all these years. I'm reading straight out of Liver Rescue, you guys. Can you believe it? I'm here, Pop-Up Live. Today's the day. Today's the day. Are you getting your book today? Because this is the day right here. It's October 30th. I can't tell you how long and how hard it's been, meaning waiting. And I know you guys have too. So this is really, 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 really amazing. So we're talking about SIBO. Let's go into it right away. It's the hippest, newest diagnosis lately. So maybe some of you have experienced that and of how that is right now. You hear about SIBO all the time. And SIBO is basically considered small intestinal overgrowth of bacteria. So that's what's going on. So it's bacterial overgrowth. That's what's happening. So what does that mean? It means that doctors think that there's some type of engagement happening, some proliferation happening inside the intestinal tract involving bacteria. And for the first time with gut stuff, they're close to right. And I say that close to right because they're getting somewhere. But the thing is, Candida, they still believe Candida is a problem, causing nail fungus problem and behind all kinds of different things like, you know, Candida, people think it's hair, it's bloating, hair loss with Candida, constipation, diarrhea, loose stools, IBS, infections of different kinds, UTIs, brain fog. But that's not the creator of those symptoms. Candida isn't. And a lot of times with SIBO's not even behind most of those. So let's go into it. What is SIBO? SIBO is strep. It's streptococcal. It's strep bacteria. It's a strep infection, long-term in people. It happens if you take antibiotics through your life. If you guys have ever taken antibiotics for anything, going back to childhood, those antibiotics do something. They feed strep inside the body from ear infections, sinus infections, whatever. And they actually feed those antibiotics strep, and they make strep stronger throughout the years. And then that strep sits in the gut, and it waits for its day to be fed and to get nice and hungry to cause all your bloating, to cause all your gastric distress, to cause all your acid reflux, to cause all your intestinal problems, and that's what happens. I'm gonna go straight into this. Good morning, everybody. Surprise pop-up live, talking about SIBO being the new Candida, talking about Candida 2 information. I'm reading right out of Liver Rescue. I got it right here. I told you there's lots of Candida information in Liver Rescue, and there's a whole section on SIBO too, so this is a big deal. This is a special day. It's here. It's unbelievable. Somebody said they're following my advice for a year. Heart, heart, heart. Bless your heart. I'm so happy you're taking the information and healing with it. So let's go back into SIBO. So here's how it works. Our liver weakens over time. It's about the liver. When it comes down to SIBO, it's about the liver. When you get a SIBO diagnosis or a Candida diagnosis, a practitioner, a doctor should be saying there's a liver issue. Because here's what happens throughout the years. Our liver weakens. It weakens and the bile reserves break down and weaken. Bile is the very thing that breaks down your fats and disperses it. Okay, so that's what happens. And it has undiscovered cluster mineral, basically there's trace minerals inside the liver, tons and tons of trace minerals inside the liver, lots and lots of it, and they cluster and they become part of the bile, and they break down the fats and disperse it. You're gonna read in here and know how it really works, what bile's really comprised of, what's happening in here. So as the bile breaks down your fats, it actually keeps them from becoming rancid and clinging to your intestinal walls. But that doesn't happen anymore for people. The liver weakens, bile breaks down, and the fats go rancid. And then what happens, because the liver's desperate, our livers are desperate and they're hungry for help, they send out chemical compounds that actually go up the bile duct. Wait till you read this in here, you won't believe it. And these chemical compounds, undiscovered by research and science, go up the bile duct into the duodenum, and they actually are messengers that drive up into the stomach. They drive up right into the stomach like a wave right into the stomach. And when they enter the stomach, they trigger off information. They deliver information to the stomach to overproduce hydrochloric acid. So then everybody goes to this stage of overproducing HCl, hydrochloric acid, because the liver needs help. And the reason why it wants you overproducing HCl is it wants it to actually break down fats. What people don't know, what the industry doesn't know, and science and research doesn't know, is that hydrochloric acid doesn't just break down proteins, it breaks down fats too. So then the HCl ups its game in the stomach, and the stomach glands overproduce, and then eventually, boom, it gets tipped over, where your HCl starts to die down. And now what people have, and they're walking around with low bile production in their liver and low HCl. It's a painful situation. You get the gas, you get the bloating, you get the constipation, you get the diarrhea. You don't even have to get any of those. You can just have bloating or mild bloating. You get all that. You get the weight gain. You can get the brain fog a little bit. You can get all these different things happening, and then you can end up with stomach aches, stomach cramps, stomach problems. It can even trigger off the Crohn's. It can trigger off the IBS and all of that. Because I'll tell you why. The minute your HCl is dwindled down, you guys, the minute your bile reserves are dwindled down, what happens is Candida starts to grow. And you know why it starts to grow? And this, you'll never hear this from anybody. You'll never hear this truth from anybody. It starts to grow so it can gobble up garbage, so it can devour junk and garbage that's residing inside your intestinal tract, rotting protein, rotting rancid fats, especially when we're told from all the trendy diets, eat more fats, lots and lots of fats, just lots and lots of protein. Doesn't matter if you're vegan, plant-based, doesn't matter if you're which side of the aisle on. It's like lots of fats, lots of protein, lots of all that, and all it does is starts to rot more and more, go rancid, and the Candida rises up like a storm to save your butt, to save your life. It rises up and starts to gobble up all that rotting protein, all of that rotting fat and rancid fat. And do you know why it's doing that? Do you know why Candida is saving your life? Do you know why it's bad to go and kill Candida? Because that's what we're told. Oh, here, do this Candida cleanse. Hey, oh, do this Candida, kill your Candida. Because Candida saves your life is what it does. It's sitting there gobbling up every single thing that's bad. Do you know why? Keeping it away from a predator is what it does. It's keeping you away from the rats. That's what it's doing. It's like leaving a whole bunch of garbage bags outside, okay? And leaving it out there on the driveway or on the ground or on the pavement or in the yard. And it's leaving those garbage bags sitting out there while rats come out at night and they come in and they go and they eat it. And you know what those rats are? Streptococcal. Here's how it works. Candida protects you from strep. Strep is a thing that sits inside everybody's body for years and years and years. And as you get older, it sits there and it waits for your liver to break down. And it waits, you guys, for your stomach acids to weaken, for your stomach glands to underproduce HCl because they're taxed and they're weakened. Advanced information, way ahead science and research by decades. It's in your hand if you lock down Liver Rescue. This is not just this little tiny book. You got to read this one. And you got to read it and get into it. So as the rats come, which is the streptococcal, which is the strep inside your gut, you end up getting a diagnosis of SIBO. But the doctors don't know that's what it is. They don't know that's the strep, and they don't know how it even happened. They don't know what's going on because they don't know what's causing it, how the liver broke down, how your HCl diminished. They don't know any of that. So important. All of this is critical. So this is what your doctor should be telling you. Mrs. and Mrs. Jones, what you got going on is, yes, you're getting SIBO, but what that is, it's really a strep infection internally. And it's feeding off of rancid fats, rancid proteins, because your HCl diminished and your liver bile weakened. That's what you're supposed to hear from your doctor, and you're not. There's no way it's gonna happen. Take control of your life, literally get the answers so you can protect yourself and your family. Every bit of information is important. If you don't think a piece of information literally that can turn your life around or not make your life harder, make your life actually easier, is it important? I gotta tell you something, it is. It's that critical. So what I have in here, the 369 cleanse, it's liver cleanse, it's critical. You don't have to pay $5,000 for this cleanse. Are you going out there and buying different cleanses? Are you like subscribing to different cleanses? Are you paying $2,000 for some cleanse? Are you buying like $5,000 in supplements and powders and stuff like that and trying to kill candida and trying to kill whatever and doing that and trying to cleanse and get detoxed? I hope not, because that would be really sad. Just get the book, learn how to take care of yourself. Also learn about supplements too. You know, like here I got the section here. There's so many different sections in here, but I got here SIBO, what dosage is, the whole bit of what you should be taking, how you should be taking it, how you can take care of yourself. It doesn't get any more direct than that. It just doesn't. And there's a recipe book in here. I know a lot of you like recipes. I will never separate a recipe book. I will never say, well, here's a recipe book over here because I want you to buy and pay for another book. I don't want you to do that. I put it in the book. I save you money. I do everything I can because you know what? When I think of you guys, I think of me. That's what I think of. I think of us as a family. I think, well, what would I want my family to do? What would I want to do? I don't want to buy a separate book. I want to make sure I got it all in here. I want the answers because you know what? It's like when you're in it together, when we're in it together, I mean, seriously, when you guys have been struggling and suffering for all these years with all the different conditions and all the weight issues and all the digestive problems and everything else, we're in it together. I want you to get help. I want you to heal the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Listen, if you guys can go to the bookstores and take some selfies, that would be amazing in the bookstore of the books, because the bookstores are helping us out. They're helping us all out by getting the information. Go to the mom and pops, Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million, the Chapter Indigo in UK, Waterstones, and actually do a selfie. And what happens is if you tag it Medical Medium and hashtag it Medical Medium, then I could actually find them and repost them. And that would be awesome because it'll support the bookstores. They're supporting us. They want the Medical Medium information out there. It's actually truly a blessing so that we can reach more people and help more people heal, because I see so many of you wanting to help people and wanting them to get the information. And I'm grateful for, just for what you're doing and how you're working hard on it and healing. And I know you've been grateful for the information because you guys tell me all the time, but that would be great if you do the selfies at the bookstores. That would be incredible. That's a big deal. So when it comes down to SIBO, know the truth and know how Candida works. Candida is actually a friendly fungus that what it does, instead of causing harm, it helps you live. It actually protects you. It helps absorb nutrients so we can get them and feed our organs. And when we do Candida cleanses and we try to take down a very good friend like Candida and we try to destroy it without even understanding who the enemy is, we hurt ourselves. So you need to know. That's why doctors are even starting to realize now they're not really focused on Candida as much, because they're realizing they were wrong. Not because they're wrong, but science and research was always wrong. It was SIBO, but still, they don't even know about the liver. They don't know about the HCl, the proper HCl issue, everything about it. There's a 7 blend of acids inside your stomach that make up one hydrochloric acid that science research is unaware of. Learn about that. That 7 blend diminishes. It's part of the gastric blend of family that's inside your stomach of the gastric juices. Those kill off bacteria. They destroy viruses. And when they diminish and weaken, viruses and bacteria thrive. And we get all these symptoms, and it gets blamed on Candida. It's unreal how the information is completely wrong out there, and it's really sad. And then, yeah, we can get a diagnosis of SIBO, which is the new trend, but that's not even understood yet, because the main bacteria in SIBO is strep. It's a streptococcal infection. I'm just giving you a reminder. So listen, the bottom line is take control. Learn about the gut, SIBO, learn about other conditions too. You've seen the other lives, you know how much is in there. There's so many conditions that are packed in here. It's launch day. I'm pumped up, as you guys can see. I'm obviously a little extra passionate today because it's a special day. I waited this long, and I'm gonna do another pop-up live too, so I can't wait. Let's keep your notifications on, because I'm gonna be doing those. Listen out this week. This is a very special week, and I wanna hear how it's going with the book, having it in your hand and everything else. Maybe answer some questions. I love you guys. Drink your celery juice, and I'll see you soon.